It's been exactly 100 days since I moved to New York. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Colleen. I'm a full-time creator and writer. I'm now dipping my toes into YouTube because it's been a dream of mine for the longest time and I just haven't been doing it, so here I am. And this year, without a real plan, my fiance and I moved to New York City. We officially moved in together, but instead of just moving into the same apartment in the same city, we moved all the way from California, packed our bags, and moved here to a 6th floor walk-up in New York City, in Manhattan. We convinced ourselves to take a chance. We quit his job, I got a whole new visa, and we moved all the way here. Was it scary? Yes. Yes it is, and it still is. So how do we make this life-changing decision? So decisions are either hats, haircuts, or tattoos. What do I mean by this? Most decisions are actually hats, meaning when you try things on, you can take it off, you can try a different hat, you can change the color, you can buy a new one, you can get rid of an old one. Our 20s are full of trying on hats, and it's fun. Learning about ourselves, making silly little decisions, not facing a ton of consequences, and just going about life. Hats are decisions that are easy to change. Haircut decisions are a bit longer term. They warrant a bit more attention, a bit more thinking, and a bit more intentionality, but at the end of the day, it does still grow back. Tattoo decisions are permanent, so in a way, they're one-way doors that you can't go back. I think we go through life thinking a lot of decisions are tattoo decisions, when in reality, most decisions we have in our 20s are actually hats. I do think moving to New York is more of a haircut decision though, where yes, there's a lot going on. Moving is not easy, especially moving to a brand new state. And to me, it was a new country. New York is more expensive. There's a lot of things to consider when you think about moving. So to me, it's more like a haircut decision. At the end of the day, if we don't like it, if it's too expensive, if we don't fit the grind set here, we can always move away again. Wow, it's been just over 3 months, so when you see people, they always ask, how has New York been? Here are 8 observations and learnings so far. 1. Never waste a good snowstorm.
Hey Siri, what's the weather today?
The National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning. Looks like it will be cloudy today.
When we first moved to New York, immediately after, there was that iconic snowstorm that was on the news, in the reels, on my algorithm, and in this case, in real life. Most people had work off and school off, and the city just felt still. I thought it would feel like an apocalyptic vibe, but when I stepped outside, people were building snowmen. And this part reminded me so much of our college days. B and I went to Waterloo in Canada, which half of the year it was basically snowy, and the vibe was very similar. It was like me and him against the world. Except this time we were in the biggest city in North America. Look at this car. Look at this car. That is so sick. Can you see this? It gave me a peek into why I love New York so much. People had this playful, youthful energy to them, and the fact that on a snow day, I saw maybe over 15 snowmen just in my neighborhood. I think that says a lot about a value of a city and the people within it. Wow. This might be the best snowman I've ever seen.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. What?
Look at it! It's proper! You know what's crazy is most of these snowmen are made by adults. I think that's the best part of this whole thing. You build that by yourself? I just feel like in New York, people aren't strangers really. In California, I felt like people were really friendly, but not kind. So there's a difference. that leads to my second learning, which is that there's a difference between being kind and being nice. This could just be a generalization, but to me in California, I felt like people were generally nice but not kind. But people in New York were kind but not nice. So here on the subway, like, people are helping each other all the time. Even though they don't really talk to you, they don't smile, they're not gonna probably see you ever again, but they will help you carry your heavy luggage. I always tell this story in the Bay Area. I was sitting at a Peet's Coffee. I was so cold. It was like a cold day and I didn't really wear a jacket and I was working. I ordered a hot coffee to warm up, but the coffee got cold immediately. I asked the person working there if they could turn up the heat or give me a glass of like hot water. And she literally says to me, "Oh, I'm not allowed to give out free hot water." And I'm like, that to me just encapsulates, like, you are following the rules technically, you know, being nice to your boss, being a rule stickler. But in this moment where someone is clearly cold and I already ordered something hot, like, you're not willing to just give a mug of hot water to me. Just maybe it's entitled of me to feel this way, but in my opinion, so many of my experiences with New Yorkers have been so different. Like, people out here don't take their jobs that seriously, but they take themselves seriously. And they don't really care about rules. I went to a coffee shop literally yesterday and I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I film here?" And the worker was like, "Oh yeah, I don't mind," but the owner is sitting there. And then she goes, "Here, take this cup." It was empty, I didn't order anything. She's like, "Take this cup, this will help." And she just like helped me like film there so that her boss wouldn't, you know, blink an eye, and gave me this fake cup so that I could use it and make it look like I did order something. That is the biggest difference in people that I found here. Number 3, moving across country with your partner to a 6th-floor walk-up with 0 furniture is hard. Like, really hard. Wow. Looking rough. No makeup. Feeling like shit. I do come back to gratitude though every time when I'm feeling like this, because this apartment is small but it's beautiful and it's filled with sun and I'm feeling good mentally. I think both me and Brendan feel a bit behind because we both wanted to make a lot of big moves literally, and now it feels like we're stuck in the intricacies of moving. But one of the biggest thing right now I'm like running into boxes. One of the biggest things we need to do right now is order a couch. So we have this. Yeah. We have the dimensions. We have kind of like what it will look like in this space. Don't mind that. That is crazy. I'm vlogging. Do you think we should make a YouTube channel where we talk to our future kids?
Yeah.
Because it's like we're documenting. Like, we could be like, "Hi kids," and like, "This is mom and dad moving to New York together." Because this is a chapter in our lives that is gonna be significant. And this is the reality of the mess. Like, seriously. Look at this. And it sounds so obvious, but I don't think my brain processed exactly how it's gonna be. The living room is finally really cutesy, and I do really like our place. But in the beginning, it was chaotic. It was figuring out what to do about, you know, we want to order a table. How are we gonna get up here? We want to get a carpet. That's heavy too. We got like a bed from Facebook Marketplace. We carried that together, me and him, like on our backs, in the skinniest little 6th-floor walk-up. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. Okay. Moving update. Everything randomly came yesterday. So we were at first stressed that we didn't order things fast enough. And the place was empty. Now we're stressed because everything came and we have to build it. Yeah, so there's that. Basically, do not underestimate moving. building a home from scratch is not for the weak. And it takes a lot of teamwork. 4. Don't live for the grand moments just to forget the everyday. Being in New York can often feel like you're always going to the big moments, the big events, learning about people's big life things. But I also have pockets where I'm at the park, or I'll see a street, or I look at a fire escape, or I catch the sunset. And it just reminds me of how beautiful the world is in a dramatic way, really. Number 5, it's normal to adjust to living with your partner full-time. B and I have been dating for, I think, like 7 years, and then we got engaged, and now we're like going on our 9th year soon, and we really only moved in officially this time. We realized that this is our first lease together, like our first shared lease together. In my opinion, people move in together way too soon these days. That's my hot take. I think people move in together way too early. And I know in the city, it's really easy to feel like, oh, we should move in together. The rent is so expensive. We're at each other's place all the time anyway. But intentionality really matters. I would recommend the book Defining Decade, which talks a lot about this subject. But yeah, I think there's something about getting to know someone so well before you take the leap and move in together. And I had a moment of realization where I was like, wait, we actually got engaged first before we officially shared a lease, which sounds kind of conservative. I'm like, wait. But I'm really glad that I did that in the end of the day. I'm glad that we waited and didn't rush anything, didn't feel the need to close the distance gap too soon. It's pretty surreal. And it's okay that it's a bit difficult to adjust to. Speaking of which, 6. Progress takes so much time, so much patience, and as an Aries, I needed to learn that. I think all of a sudden I realized our apartment is so cute, but it took so many different steps and things to do before we got here. Fuck! Yay! Okay.
Oh, what have you created?
I'm building a tiny little shelf for our tiny little bathroom in our tiny little apartment. Should I like do woodworking or something?
Every person after they assemble IKEA furniture.
And that it can apply to everything, to video making, to being a beginner at one thing and making sure that, you know, you are taking the right steps. Jumping back into YouTube, like progress is just never ending. 7, most decisions are not that permanent. If you're also contemplating somewhat of a big life decision, maybe it is moving to a new city, just know that most decisions come down to values. The same way someone's personality and interests only show you about them externally, but doesn't tell you about the person internally, I would challenge you to take a look deeper into values. What does the city you want to move into represent? What does the person you want to move in with represent? What do they value? Do they align with yours? Things are in seasons and chapters, and this chapter, B and I are exploring. New York to us represent youth, exploration, the buzz, feeling alive, because I can go to a co-working spot and learn about someone's startup. I can bike through the streets with my favorite song and just completely turn my day around. New York City is difficult because everything is harder and more expensive here. My anxiety is a bit louder here because everyone here is doing something really cool. But I noticed that what New York City values is intentionality. No one is really here just to like dilly-dally, hee-hee-ha-ha. The same way the stairs is a metaphor, our 6th floor Abakov, I am so careful about what type of furniture or person I bring into my apartment because it takes 6 floors to get up here. So buying anything online or Facebook, I have to be like, am I willing to carry that up for 6 floors? Same with people. Only your closest best friends are probably willing to come over often and climb 6 flights of stairs. So New York represents to me learning and choosing to do the vulnerable thing for a potential return of memories of a lifetime, with hopefully less regret. Okay, thank you for watching. If you want to, please subscribe and leave a comment because YouTube has always been intimidating for me and I want to get better at it and just share. So any feedback is welcomed. Yeah. Okay. We went to New York.